mate. What do you want to do tonight?
The same thing we do every night, Pinky. Try to take over the world.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts! Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again! Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Are you ready? Are you ready? It's time!
Welcome back to another Thursday night episode of Software Explorations, hosted by yours truly, Tech Coach Ralph, where we are engineered to win. Yes. We love to work. We love to win. We get it done. We don't miss. We do not miss. So tonight, we are going to be continuing with API testing. This time, we're going to be using a different tool. Yes, a different tool. We're going to be using Karate Labs, an API testing tool based, it's written in Gherkin's language. Gherkins, we just spoke about that yesterday on our BDD presentation, behavior-driven development. We're going to still be using our JSON server. We're going to be using IntelliJ, one of the JetBrains products, in order to, get this working, get this every single day. I believe in that we should get better every single day. Just 1% better every single day. That's going to lead to massive growth and massive wins. All right. And, here we are all about winning because, as the beloved DJ Khaled says,
all we do is win, man. You know that.
All we do is win. So that's the goal for today. Let's continue to win. Let's continue to level up. So let's get into our agenda as we normally do. And then we'll get into our introductions, our housekeeping, and then our little icebreaker. And then we'll get to the show. We'll get to work, right? The meat and potatoes, we're going to get to work. Okay, so as I said, let's jump into our agenda. So first and foremost, as always, I want to thank every single person who has subscribed to the channel. It is very, very much appreciated.
I appreciate you.
You guys are awesome. And then I want to thank you guys as well for keeping me accountable for something I haven't done since March, but still you guys kept me accountable on Thursday and I appreciate it. All thanks to Mitch for bringing up the past, but it's all good because I appreciate Mitch as well when he gets here, when Superman gets here. But I do appreciate you all. I appreciate the conversations that we have, the technical thought that we put behind everything that we do. We have people here who are in data analytics, data engineering, from software development to Yakar, who does pretty much everything in tech. Just amazes me, right? And, QA to whatever, cybersecurity people, Trap and Slate going into cybersecurity, so much things and we're able to provide so much insight. I don't see a channel that does the type of work that we do here, where we are celebrating each other, encouraging each other, but in particularly in the tech space. There's tons of channels right? Who we can come together and we can talk and we can review stuff. But where we are focused on our technical abilities and that we can grow them together. So that is one of the things that I'm happiest about doing here. And every new person who comes in, and then I find out about you. And I remember a lot of the things that a lot of people that I interact with. I remember what you guys are into, and that way I get some ideas. I get some strategies. I'm like, oh, maybe we can go into this. Maybe we can go into that. So I just want to say that you guys make it happen, and I get like I said the other day, right? It's a bit selfish because I get to learn all this stuff. I get to learn about Terraform. I get to learn about writing like Mongo and Node and writing code in those languages, and I get to learn about mobile development and stuff like that. So I'm gonna say like, it is a bit selfish, but I appreciate all the insight and the thoughts that you have and how you guys help me and how we have fun. So to all of the newest subscribers, to those who have been there for a very, very long time, to the bag chasers, to the tech barbarians, to the tech mercenaries, however you find me, I just want to say thank you so much because you guys are absolutely amazing. And I'm going to give everyone a round of applause. All right, so let's get into our live show schedule real quick. So Mondays and Wednesday mornings, we go live for the morning show, Coffee and Kata. What we do is we review some news stories and then we get to work on our application. Lately, we've been working on the mobile application, the time cost calculator, and we have pushed it into the stores, into the iOS store and in the Google Play Store. And yesterday, we're going through the process of getting it ready to submit. It's currently in like not even closed testing, an internal testing mode. And I think in the next week or so, because it's been over a week now inside of the Google Play Store, and it's going to be a week on Saturday inside of the iOS store. So maybe in the next week, maybe in the morning, we'll get it to the next step so that we can get it approved and we can move on with our lives, right? Because I want people.
Appreciate you.
Oh my, who's this? Tim Matthews. Ooh, thank you so much, Tim Matthews, for subscribing. Like I said, thank you to all the newest subscribers, right? So, like I was saying, because whenever someone shows that type of love, I just have to stop and thank them personally because it means a lot to me when you help the channel grow and me getting to connect with you guys. I get to come up with new ideas and stuff like that so we can level up together. I think I'm gonna touch on this hat for a second, right? Because this hat says Lone Wolf, but after we get through the show schedules, I'll touch on that, right? So in part, I'll touch on that, right? So let's keep going. So we have our morning shows. We're going to continue pushing our app into the App Store, and then I'm thinking about our next step is going to be building a companion watch app for iOS and for Android watches, Wear OS, so that we can have a companion app, and we'll talk about that more later in the mornings, right? So that is our morning shows. Sunday afternoons, we have software explorations. We are working our way through Terraform, where we are writing infrastructure as code. I was talking to Ferris the other day, talking about how Terraform is so useful because what it takes us 30 minutes to an hour to write, to create in like either Microsoft Azure or in Google Cloud Platform or in Amazon Web Services. After we actually get the code done, we can start it up and spin it down in a matter of seconds to minutes, depending on what it is, right? So that's what we do, and we are just working our way through that. This coming Sunday, we are going to be working on, so we figured out the problem last Sunday. So now this coming Sunday, we're going to terraform that work that we did, and then we're going to figure out some more stuff about the domain name, things like that. So lots of things coming. I might even register a new domain name, things like that. So all of these things are happening. So that's on Sundays, Infrastructure as Code, Terraform. Join us for that. If you are interested in DevOps and those type of things, infrastructure, you definitely want to join in on Sundays. Tuesday nights, we have our Q&A sessions. We had a great Q&A session this past Tuesday. It was fun. Mitch had everybody keep me accountable, but I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. And Thursday nights, tonight, we have more software exploration. We do a lot of software exploration on here, right? More software explorations. We are working our way through QA API testing. today's almost going to be like a twofer because we're going to be working on karate for API testing. But yesterday we spoke about BDD on our software explorations concept and overviews video, and so karate uses a lot of BDD terminology and things like that. So it's going to be a great segue until we actually get into our official BDD live stream. But it's going to be a great segue the way that's written and stuff like that, right? So that is our Thursday night shows, and then the newest show on the docket. We have Saturday mornings around 9 a.m. We do our weekly numbers review, and the show has a name now. The show has a name. And you know who came up with it? Mitch came up with it, and then your car made me realize how long the show name was. Even the abbreviation is long, but the name of the show is Men Lie, Women Lie, Numbers Manipulate. Yes, numbers manipulate. So we review the weekly numbers to look out for about the job data and whatever numbers that are coming out that week that are economic indicators. We're going to look at that. Sometimes it's the inflation numbers, sometimes it's the housing numbers, whatever numbers are coming out. We review those on Saturday morning. So I get what numbers to look out for on Monday mornings. And then once they come out during the week, on Saturday mornings, we review it. Mitch helps me out. Your car helps me out. The wealth building journey, when he's able to make it, he helps me out. Sometimes he gives me words that are too hard for me to pronounce, but hey, it's worth it. It is totally worth it. All right. So that is our live show schedules. Trick me again with numbers manipulate. It's a good one, right? It's a good one. It is a good one. So let's get into our pre-recorded content real quick. So we have Mondays, Candy Conversation, and all these shows are like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday show. They are released they premiere at noon Eastern time. All right. So Mondays, Candy Conversations. This past Monday, I talk about why, because so many of you are not serious. See, no one in the chat, because you guys put in the work, but some people who come like, oh, I want to do this, want to do that. They're not serious because once, like, if they even show up to actually do the work, they do it for a little bit. Oh, this is too tough. I thought I wanted it, but so I'm like, you know what? I'm giving up. And I'm going to work with the people who are serious, right? So I'm giving up on everybody who's like, oh, I want to do it. And then they never show up, right? So that was Monday. Wednesdays we have software exploration. This past yesterday, we talked about a BDD overview, behavior-driven development, very, very important. Good thing to get into, right? And then Fridays, we have the bug bite, where we review pretty much different articles. Sometimes it's like it might be a bug or cybersecurity breach, whatever I find interesting that I think that would be helpful to share. And this, like tomorrow, it's scheduled to premiere. It's mainly about gamifying, like the article is about gamifying your coding, but I expanded it to gamifying your workflow so that I think when you can gamify your workflow, making what you do fun and interesting and challenging and competitive, then that is how you are going to be successful. That's what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. You definitely want to tune in. I might even tune into it myself because I think it's going to be really good. It's going to be really good. So that is those main shows. And then throughout the week, we have shorts as well as clips from the Q&A show that drops Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern time. Definitely want to check that out, right? So that's it. All right, that is our pre-recorded content. Let me go and check out the chat, and then we're going to get into our little bit of housekeeping. So let's go. All right, we have Travis Slay here. We have Amp Stars in the building. Amp is in the building. Shout out to appreciate it. And Amp Stars says, trick me again with that numbers manipulate. Yeah, that's a good one. That is a good one. Let me move this down a little bit. All right, let's go right about here. And the car says, maybe people lie, numbers manipulate. It loses a little bit of ring to it. I don't know, your car. I don't know. It loses a little bit of ring, because when we say people lie, then how are we going to get Amp Stars again? Because he is expecting numbers don't. But if we say people lie, numbers, like, okay, we got it. I don't know. And we got in the building. Mitch is here. He says, took off the blazer, loosened up the tie. Superman is alive. And Amstar says the work matters, education is key. And we're gonna, you know what? I have some break point topics to discuss today. It's gonna like that. We're gonna touch on that too. We're gonna touch on that. So many things that like I don't know. It's always running through my mind. Oh, gotta write that down because this is a key point to touch on. So a lot of good stuff. We have in the building. We have Nicole's Wellness in Motion says greetings Tech Fam. Greetings to you as well. Welcome. We have some big plans for all of my tech folks. Like, there's so many things that I want to learn. I'm trying, and I'm going to talk about that too. But I'm trying to like find where to plug this stuff in, how to create more time. And Mitch says they want what it looks like, but not what it feels like. You know what? No. You know what, Mitch? This is what they want. They want the video that they saw on YouTube and LinkedIn to be real when it's like, it's not really the case, right? So that's what they want. That's what they want. But when they see how much work it takes, because as I always say, tech is hard. So they see how much work it takes, like, I don't know. But I want the bag though. I want the bag. I'm like, you got to earn the bag. The bag is not given. The bag is not given. It is earned. All right. You know, that's, that one deserves one of these. That
Message.
All right. And Mitch, tell us how you really feel. Mitch says, your car, that is a waste basket. Oh, come on, Mitch. You gotta have some, oh my goodness. Stay classy, Mitch. Stay classy, all right? And he says, I'm trying to be silent today. Your car, don't wake up the bees. You guys are too much. And McCall says, thank you to whoever gifted me a free membership. That, you know what? You can direct your thanks directly to your car. I believe it was your car. But your car he's been Santa Claus in these streets, all right? So definitely, you know what? Again, your car, we appreciate you so much.
Appreciate you.
And Mitch says, what are we talking about? Fiction or are we talking about facts? We talking about this or are we talking about that? All right, Mitch is trying to rap. All right. Okay, so here we are. So let's get into a little bit of housekeeping real quick, right? I have some housekeeping to do because I have some good news to celebrate. Where's my remote? Because we're going to have a little bit of celebration.
Money.
Oh my goodness. All right, you know what? Let's take care of this real quick because Appstar is like, he's blessing me. He says, you got it, bro. Push. Anybody can get the bag. That is a fact. That's a fact. Anybody can get the, and you know what? Appstars, you deserve a
Message.
Anybody can get the bag if they work for it. All right. So let's get to a little bit of housekeeping real quick, and then we will continue. So where are we here? We have housekeeping. All right, there you go. So quick updates on housekeeping. First and foremost, you know me. I love to celebrate your success, and if you guys ever put some accomplishment that you have in the chat, we will stop and celebrate because I love celebrating with you guys all your accomplishments. And I made a video like a few weeks ago. Celebrate your victories because we can be so hard on ourselves. And for me, like whenever I do something cool, whenever I do something that I'm proud of, I will celebrate it for a good 30 seconds, a minute. But taking that time to acknowledge the work that I did and the hard work, because like we can be I'm sure your car knows about this. You can be like working on some type of project or code and it takes like weeks or months. And then when it's done, you can already think about, okay, let's go to the next thing. But I say, take that second to appreciate the work that you did and appreciate yourself. And you're like, wow, I actually did that. And then after that 30 seconds, minute, maybe 5 minutes, they're like, all right, cool. What's next? So I want to celebrate one of my tech barbarians real quick who after, when did we review it? We did a resume review. maybe a week and a half ago, made all the updates, I got a notification at like 4 o'clock in the morning that the updates were being made, right? I checked my phone. I was like, oh, update. I'm like, oh, wow. Like, all right, cool. And then they had two calls on, what day is today? Today's Thursday, on Monday or Tuesday with some recruiters, had another one today, and now they have an interview on Monday. So shout out to my tech barbarian for winning. See, and although it's not, the job's not done yet, right? The deal's not done, but the progress. If you know how many people I come across with who I have been applying 3,523 and a half applications put in. And nobody has ever called me or even looked at my application. I barely even get rejections. So I'm like, you know what? We are celebrating your victory. It's every victory on the path, on the journey counts. So shout out to my tech barbarian. We're killing it. And guess what? I said, you know what? Whatever you get, that is your first step. That is the way to get in the door. And then we are going to continue going up from there. You just have to get in the door first. Get in the door, and then we're going to go up from there, right? So I just wanted to celebrate my tech barbarian and the progress. And what I always tell you guys, it's not this. This is not what it is, right? It's not that we just work on fake things and we just put stuff on a resume. No. I give you real stuff to do where you are going to actually learn about databases and automation and all that type of stuff. Where now when they're asking you questions, you can articulate yourself. And another thing that I did, I said, you know what? You're transitioning into this field. You don't really have much experience. Start creating little videos, 5-10 minutes about what you've been working on for like the past 2 weeks or something, right? And talk about their first video talking about Docker. Never used Docker a month ago. And now they're talking about Docker. They're talking about, how I'm able to spin up an application, I'm bringing it down and all this stuff, updated through whatever software, using the API tools, Postman. And I'm like, just putting it out there in the world, putting out what you're learning in the world, instead of complaining, work. Instead of complaining, work. All right. So one more time, instead of complaining, work.
Message.
All right. So shout out to the tech barbarians and now you know what that means? That means we have to do interview prep, mock interviews for over the weekend to get them ready for once they get in front of whoever they're going to be talking to, they're comfortable, because I'm going to make the interview as tough as possible so that whatever they go into the real world, it's going to be easy. That's how I like to train. That is how I like to train. All right. So talking about boot camps, maybe, I don't know. All right. Anyways, so next up for housekeeping, this coming Saturday, I will be on the Tech Niche Tips channel with Joseph to talk about QA. And so over on the Tech Niche Tips channel, it's a lot about tech sales and BDRs and SDRs and maybe account managers. So they don't really, they interview all types of people, right? So they'll have some people who are like product managers and stuff like that. But I'm good friends with Joseph. I'm going to go on there. We're going to talk about QA. And I have a question that I have to ask him as well. A question about tech sales that it might really help everyone who's trying to transition. So we're going to find out. I'll be there. I am going to drop the link in the chat so that you can go to that and you can hit the notification button so that you can join me over there, support the show and the stream on Saturday at 11 a.m. as I have my conversation with Joseph, and we are going to continue to run it up. So there goes the links for that. And then the last bit of housekeeping for today, I have the app, the mobile app time cost calculator, based on the formula of there are 8,760 hours in a year. How much is each hour of your time worth? How much is each minute of your time worth? How much is each second of your time worth? And that activity that you decided to do, Was it really worth it? Well, plug it into the time cost calculator and it'll tell you how much it exactly costs you and if it was actually worth it, right? Well, you decide if it was worth it. It's just going to tell you how much time it costs you. We just provide the data. You provide this, you decide, right? So I'm gonna drop that. If you want to become a beta tester for the app, you can just fill out the form. All I need is your email address and if it's associated with an iOS account or an Android account, and then I will get you added. But very soon it will be coming out for everyone to download. So, like I said, both apps are in the iOS store, or the app is in both stores, the iOS store and in the Google Play Store, right? So that is our housekeeping. All right, so I'm gonna go to the chat and then we're gonna get to our icebreaker and then we will get to work. All right, because here it's not a completed day, it's not a completed stream if we do not work. So first things first, we have a little bit of fun first and then we get to work and then we have fun in between the work and then we have some more work and we have more fun, more work, more fun, more work. Hey, make it fun. All right. So let me go to the chat really, really quickly and see what we are talking about. So let's see where we are at. We have Treese in the building. Oh my goodness. What's going on, Treese? How are you doing tonight? Happy to have you here. Oh my goodness, we have the wealth building journey in the building. What's going on, the wealth building journey? Please be careful. Well, help me out tonight, right? It's been a very, very long day. It was scrum day at work. I had to go watch the Millionaire Morning Show on replay at 2x to catch up. And I don't have any big words in me tonight. So please help me out. Save them for Saturday morning, right? Save them for Saturday morning. Please. All right. So we have, so Tree says hi to everyone. Hi to you as well, Trees. Welcome. And let's see. So we have your car saying facts. You have to celebrate the small victories. That way, when the hard things hit you and you're in the when the hard things hit you in the face, you still have confidence. That is a fact. When the hard things hit you in the face, you still have confidence. Perfect. Yep. 100% agree. And that's why one of the ways that when I'm writing code and stuff, I run often just to see that green little check. So then now I know everything is working. And then when things start to fail, I don't have to go back that far and I make my modifications and then it works and then we party. Just like on Sunday at the very last minute. That's when we everything started to work and we figured it out and now we know what to do for next stream, right? So that is the plan. And it says while I'm shooting all net from 35 feet, you still helping the wolf with the brick houses. I don't know, Mitch. I don't know what you're talking about. You're losing me here, right? So Amstar says, I'm constantly building. I have my certs for civil engineering, looking for direction with my general contractor's license. Okay. See? We are doing the work. That's what I'm talking about. There you go, Amstars. I mean, whenever we put in the work, I'm gonna celebrate you all. All right. So, and just clap it up for my tech barbarians. Clap it up for your car. Clap it up for everyone. Clap it up for Amstars with his certifications and his general contracting license. I love it. I love to see us win. That's right. And says, I started drawing out floor plans before utilizing AutoCAD. I use AutoCAD because AutoCAD's been out for a long time. I didn't use it, but I played around with it had to be 20 years ago, maybe even earlier than that, or maybe even longer than that. Just to see what it was. I didn't really do much with it, but it's pretty cool software. And says people think when they start they have to know everything. If you are a 2, you just gotta know more than 0 and 1. Let's go.
Message.
Yep, totally true. And the Wealth Building Journey says, how's the zero trust architecture research going? It's going pretty well. I had looked it up to see exactly what it was, and it's so I know it as I'm kind of familiar with it, but I know it as I forgot the name of it, but it's the principle of least I forgot the word I'm looking for, but it's the principle of least something. I forgot the word, but it's pretty much the fact that you give the less privileges as possible, and then you open up as needed. But I'm gonna do a video on that because that is awesome. That is I really like that. What I read so far, I'm like, oh yeah, this is exactly how it should be. Instead of giving everything at the beginning and then taking it away, don't give anything first and then give access as, and that's kind of like what AWS does with its ports. When you're setting up a security group, you don't have access to anything, and then you start opening up ports that way. So really cool stuff. Antonio Watkins in the building. Salute to you as well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And Amstar says, my mom said I like complicated things. And she was right. I expect nothing easy. That's right. And let's see. Are we good to go? All right. I'm a 2 all day. You're funny. All right. So principle of last. Yeah, I think so. I'm not. You're like, if that's the terminology, then yeah. But I could be getting it wrong. Of least. Yeah, I think that's what it is. But I have to look it up. But yeah, it's the same concept. So awesome. Great. So let's get into this icebreaker real quick, right? Let's get into the icebreaker because then we're gonna get to work. We have a lot of work to do. We have a lot of fun to have as well. So let's go to here. So I was, my favorite place to hang out. I was scrolling out on LinkedIn, and I saw this post about working for large companies. And when they say large companies, it's like the Twitters, the YouTube, or the Twitters, the Googles, the Facebooks, all that, right? Amazon. So I'm gonna read it real quick, right? It says, Google, Twitter, and Amazon layoffs are a reminder that it may feel nice to work at a big, recognizable brand, but most of them will get rid of you as soon as their priorities change. Here's how to spot a company with the right values that cares about you. Oh, that's so sweet. Aww. And you know what? Because now that you're talking about caring about me, I have to play this as I start reading this. Okay, so hopefully it's not too loud. So here's how to spot a company with the right values that cares about you. Yes, you cares about you, right? So the recruiter and hiring manager provides you with all the necessary information to succeed in the recruitment and interview process. The company is transparent about the salary range, flexible work options, and benefits. The recruiter/hiring manager gives you timely feedback after the interview. You get specific answers to your questions about the work environment, culture, and career progression opportunities. They respect your time in the interview/recruitment process and encourage you to ask questions, so it's a two-way process. If it doesn't work out, the company still provides you with feedback, which may help you in the future interviews. So, and now, of course, it ends. Searching for a new job? Don't just apply for hundreds of jobs. Research the company and apply for roles at companies that will value you. So, it sounds all nice and sweet and fun and, but, well, maybe I'm the bad guy, but I'll tell you this. Number one, working at Google, Twitter, Amazon, they lay off people, of course. But guess what? Every single company lays off people and it's not about their priorities changing. It's about, it's number one is we're not making enough money. And then, yeah, the priorities do change because we're not making enough money. What we hired you to do, we thought was going to be successful. It's not. So we are changing direction. Great. So now, spotting the company with the right values that cares about you. A company is an entity. It's a business. So would you rather get laid off by a company who is a very large company and I don't have access to like the senior management, the CEO or whatever? Or would you rather get laid off by a company who, they care about you, but they're still laying you off, right? It's kind of like, hey, it's not me, it's you, or it's not you, it's me. And, I still love you, but we can't be together anymore. I'm not for me at the end of the day, I'm still laid off. I'm still unemployed. Now, for me personally, I think working at those large companies, and guess what? Working at a large company, the company is just because there might be 100,000 people working for a company, it's still small based on the people that you actually work with. So for me, for example, there's a ton of people in my company. I don't even know how many, right? But I work with like 3 to 6 people on a daily basis. And that, like, for me, that's almost a company because the people that I talk to on an everyday basis, the team that I work with, So now when we talking about, Google, Twitter, Amazon, Tesla, I have no problem working for a large company to get that name on the resume and to learn to have access to all the people there that they're doing like groundbreaking technology and stuff like that. And I've all the time I've been laid off, it wasn't from a large company. And if I work for a large company, I'll probably get laid off at some point too. So it's not about whether it's large or small. It's where you're going to fit in. Like how many times have you, like, there's been plenty of companies that I've spoken to and then they never responded to me. I'm like, all right, cool. Like, I keep it moving. I don't get in my feelings and my fifis about, this business did this business. I'm not here for the business to care about me. I'm here to provide value wherever I go. So whenever I get, like, if I get laid off, if I get rejected for a job, I'm like, whatever, your loss, not mine. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it winning because I have a goal. I am headed somewhere. So that is how I see this whole thing. Like when it gets like, they care about you. I'm like, they care about you to a certain extent, right? And then from there, let's keep it moving. Like it's nothing personal. It's nothing emotional. It's let's go out there and win. Let's go out there and win. You have to be business minded the same way that they're business minded. Because when they, like, whether it's a large company or a small company, when they say, hey, we need to reduce 20% of the workforce. No matter how nice or how much they care about you, 20% is 20%. And it's either you're going to be in the 20% or you're not going to be in the 20%. So always be prepared, always be ready to pivot, always be ready to win. All right. That is my icebreaker for tonight's show. Let's check the chat to see what do you guys think about my icebreaker. Am I totally off on this or am I onto something? Let's find out. And we got in the building my guy Slimmy. What's going on, Slimmy? Welcome. And your card says, never trust, always verify, zero trust architecture. Exactly. See, some people say trust but verify. We say never trust, always verify. Nice. And let's go. So Mitch says, why do you think those companies are doing mass layoffs but also hiring at the same time? Well, Mitch, I think the times of fun and games during the pandemic are over. And like the CEO of Google said the other day, look, this is a workplace, not your not your trampoline playground where you can throw temper tantrums and stuff like that. This is a workplace. We are here to work. We're here to make money. We're here for business. So that is part of the reason. And it depends on what they're hiring for, because as AI is becoming more prevalent, then companies are shifting their priorities to AI related stuff. So if you're not keeping up with the trends, then you are going to be fall by the wayside. People make friends at companies, but at the end of the day, a company is a company. Make your living, make your money, and continue to level up. That's how I see it. That is how I see it. What else we got? We have people have low vibrations, just don't know anything. Okay. And so your card's answer to Mitch's question, because turnover is good margins, fire the higher paid employees and outsource the lower paid employees here and overseas. Corporate and stockholders get paid larger dividends. That happens as well. And I said, but I'm on a PIP. I didn't put you on a PIP. I've threatened you with it, but I never put you on there. I know your card doesn't put people on PIP, so I don't know. All right, so let's go to, is it because companies aren't as innovative anymore that they're losing revenue? Stagnation is a hell of a drug. That's a good question. I don't know. I don't know. Because then, some companies get comfortable. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know. I'm not sure. I am not sure. And Amstar says a large company doesn't make a successful. That is true. That is true. Because you have it just depends, But I don't think that. I don't think it depends on the large company or the small company. I just think it depends on the quality of work that they bring. What value does the company bring? And the good companies, whether they're large or small, they'll realize that early and they'll pivot as necessary. And sometimes the pivoting does require to have some, they call them restructuring, which pretty much means we're going to move some people around. We're gonna lay off a bunch of people. But my thing is, when you're working for that really large company, like when I say large, I mean like those well-known companies, how did you leverage that while you were there? Because they talk about all these benefits, right? These large companies, they offer a lot of benefits. Like I had a friend who was working for Meta, and their campus is he's like, oh, it's huge. They give like free food and all this type of stuff. He was working for what's the name of the other company? Lyft. He was working for Lyft, and he's like, oh yeah, they give you this and that and stuff like that. So, but when they have to change priorities, they change priorities, But what were you able to get out of there? Were you able to leverage the benefits, whether the educational benefits, things like that, go to school while there, or were you just sitting there enjoying the free lunch, but not actually saying, okay, how can I level up while I'm here? What can I learn? And then putting that on your resume, leveling up. Because guess what? In my opinion, when you go to apply for something, say, oh, this person used to work at Google, this person used to work at Twitter, this person used to work at Facebook or Meta. That's pretty interesting. Let's talk to that person. Do they get put up to the top of the list because they used to work there? Now, if you don't know anything, that's a different story. So that's my thoughts behind it. All right. And Mitch says your direct manager might possibly care, but as an organization, you just a number, whether it's a big one or a small one. So, and guess what? The reason that your direct manager is going to care that much is because they're probably the ones who's going to have to lay you off if it comes to that. So it's that's how it goes. That's how it goes. And Appstar says nobody cares. You are screwed. That can get lost. You're a screw that can get lost in the shuffle. That is, yeah, that's true. That's true. All right. And let's see. So put the beep button on me. All right. I got you. He says, put the button on me, AI. All right. I got you. Make no friends. You just gotta for me, I go and work. And then wherever I am, I'm going to work. Right. So whether I'm here in the office, whether I'm in another office, whether I'm in another company, whatever, I'm going to work. I am going to work. Right. So McCall says, depends on the company, type of leadership, and your personal involvement with your department and beyond. If you work on the government side of things like me, you're working with various departments. That is true. And another thing is, I always say, add the most value possible, right? And what value can you as an individual bring? That's what I just said. That is what I just said. Look at you. What can you do? And guess what, right? Whatever I learn how to do, even if I can't, even if the company no longer needs me, all the stuff that I learned, I can bring it somewhere else. So that's my thoughts behind it. Okay. So, and that's why I love this hat, this lone wolf hat, because, I love working with a group, but I also love working on my own, and I can figure things out and I can learn and I can teach myself new things. And that's why I've never been worried. I can always pivot from here. Like at my last job, I was doing ETL, extract, transfer, and load, right? From pulling data from one place, bring it to another place. Had I ever done that before? No, but when they asked me to do it, I'm like, all right, cool. I didn't want to do it at first, but I went and I learned it, and I managed the whole process for a year. So always and that's why I don't necessarily run in a pack, although I'll come together with a group and we'll get things done. And then I go back to myself and I have to figure out what's the next step, right? And then I can share it with other people. And a lot of times people don't want to come along, but that's why when people don't want to come along, you go at it alone. Right? So, and your guy says they care because they are just a number, making sure you hit your numbers. They will be fired too. You see, that's a good point. That is a good point. All right. So let's see. And it says, I'm the same way. You see, look at that. All right. So Mitch says, enough with my foolishness. I don't want to influence y'all in that way. You see, Mitch, like you said, right? Like you said, whenever you show up, the party gets started. The party gets started because we entertain your foolishness. All right. Let's get to work, right? Let's get to work. Enough fun and games. All right. So we are going to do this. We're going to look at the documentation for karate. We're going to set up our project and we shall get to work. So let me move this over here. All right, cool. So I'm going to go over to this other screen, to this screen right here. And we are going to, so karate, test automation made simple. I think it's mostly for API testing from what I've seen. But let's take a quick read about what karate is. I had covered this in a software exploration when we were talking about like API testing in general, and we mentioned karate, but not on live stream yet. So get some water first. It's water, all right? No need to go back to Tuesday. It's water, all right? It's still water. All right, so karate is the only open source tool to combine API test automation, mocks, performance testing, and even UI automation. I didn't know about the UI automation part. They must have enhanced it since I last used it into a single unified framework. The syntax is language neutral and easy for even non-programmers. Assertions and HTML reports are built in. You can run tests in parallel for speed. All right, let me start the timer as well. Let's get our first timer started.
It's time to do.
And let's see. So, all right, the syntax. All right, we read that. Assert. All right. So there are cross-platform standalone executables for teams not comfortable with Java. We are comfortable with Java here, so we don't have to worry about that. You don't have to compile code. Just write tests in a simple, readable syntax, carefully designed for HTTP, JSON, GraphQL, and XML. And you can mix API and UI test automation within the same test script. That's pretty cool. I built a framework that was able to do this, but maybe not like karate can, all right? So, and by the way, did you guys see the thumbnail that I created? That thumbnail, which I'll talk about later, but when we talk about AI later, but that thumbnail is, it is somebody who is programming in a karate uniform. A karate kimono, right? It's a nerd. We love nerds. I'm a big nerd, right? I mean, look at this channel, everything that we do here, right? But he's programming in a karate uniform. Have I done that in my jiu-jitsu uniform? I will not say, all right? That I'm keeping that private, all right? So a Java API also exists for those who prefer to programmatically integrate karate's rich automation and data assertions capabilities, all right? So example of how it looks, hello world for API testing. So scenario, which we talked about yesterday, create and retrieve a cat. All right, so given URL, you pass in the endpoint, that's a picture, and you say request name. So in the request, you're gonna have name, Billy, and when you post that, you're gonna get a status to a 1, and we're going to match the response to this right here. And so the ID is not gonna be no because it's gonna be generated on the spot. And the name is going to be Billy that you passed in here. And then you say, given the path response. So you can chain it, take the response here, say the ID, get, and then status 200. And then you can probably also say the response matches whatever is in there, right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we have the instruction on how to install it. Let's see down here. I'm not going to read through all the features, but I will drop this link in the chat in case anybody is interested. All right, and let's see. So features. All right, so yeah, I'm not going to go through all the features because I want to get to implementation and then real world scenarios. We can check. Let me take a quick look at this one. Let's see. And let's see. Kittens. What I like kittens. Let's see what kittens are talking about. That's not what I wanted. All right, let's close that out. All right. So, anyways, so comparison with Rest Assured. So we have done Rest Assured 2 weeks ago, For teams familiar with currently using Rest Assured, this detailed comparison of Karate versus Rest Assured can help you evaluate Karate. Do note that if you prefer pure Java API, Karate has that covered with far more capabilities. Oh, all right. So they're out for blood. They're going for war here. All right. So let's see if there's a comparison chart. I'm curious to see the comparison chart though. Oh, this is small. Can we get this bigger? I'm not gonna go through this whole. Oh, okay, this is way too long to go through. But check it out. Check it out. This is way too long for me to look at. I'm not gonna read this. Let's close that out. Let's close that out. All right. So getting started. If you're a Java developer, Karate requires at least Java 11, and then either Maven, Gradle, or Java IDE that embeds either to be installed. All right. So we don't need that. There's an IntelliJ plugin. That's pretty cool. All right, so there's one for Visual Studio. Oh, I can't stand Visual Studio Code. Sorry, didn't mean to say that. All right, so then we have the Maven install, what we did before for Rest Assured. And then a quick. All right, cool. So let's get to it. So the first thing I'm going to do, I am going to start our JSON server, what we've been using, our faithful companion we've been using the past few weeks, in order to be able to get our API running up and quickly, right? So we're gonna do cd web storm, and then we're gonna go into JSON server, and we're gonna type in the command. I guess it's kind of small. You guys don't need to see this because it's just to start this up. JSON-server db.json, all right? And it's gonna get it kicked off for us, right? Aren't you starting? There it goes. It started. All right, cool. So it started. We have the localhost 3000 post, localhost 3000 comments, localhost 3000 profile. All right. So we don't need to see that anymore. I'll minimize it. Okay. So let's go into our other screen where we're going to start setting up our project. So we're going to call this one. Let's call this Karate Live or API testing Karate live stream. And architecture for Maven, we're going to go with quick start. And we are good to go. And here we are. And close this down. All right, so let me see if I can get them side by side so we can have them both on the same screen. That way we don't have to go back and forth between screens. Let me know if that's okay. All right. So we're going to have to open up our POM file. Oh, it's already open. All right. So now we're going to go into our dependencies. And we're just going to drop right here, this right here. So now we have our dependency for Karate using JUnit 5. And let's see. Folder structure, test. I think we are ready to get started, actually. All right, so assuming you're using JUnit, there are some good reasons for recommended best practice naming conventions. Good morning, Ferris. Good morning. Welcome to the stream. I was just about to mention you. I didn't even see that you were here. I was telling Ferris on the stream yesterday that naming conventions are super, super important. He had a very, very long, crazy stream trying to get Kubernetes to work. It was a roller coaster, but naming convention is very important. So, assuming you're using JUnit, there are some good reasons for the recommended best practices naming convention and choice of file placement shown above. So, inside the test folder, karate config, logback, some reusable feature, some class function, yada yada yada. And let's see, animals test, cat post. Okay, all right. So let's see what else we're doing. So not using the asterisk test Java convention for JUnit classes, cats runner and cats and dogs folder ensures that these tests will not be picked up using when invoked MVN test. Okay, makes sense. MVN test is how you trigger your test when you're doing it through Maven. It'll go through the CI/CD pipeline. All right, for those whole projects from the command line, but you can still invoke these tests from the IDE, which is convenient when in development. Animals test Java, the only file that allows the asterisk test Java naming convention, acts like the test suite for the entire project. By default, Karate will load all features from the subdirectories as well. So features is, we spoke about that yesterday. That is the, it is a feature file, which is normally written in Gherkins. And that's what's going to define our test workflow, right? And then which is exactly what we want, because some reasonable features is designed to be called only from one of the other test scripts, perhaps with some parameters being passed. You can also use tags to skip files. Karate supports JUnit 5, and the advantage is that you can have multiple methods in a test class. All right, so, well, let's get to it. All right, let's get to it. So I'm going to move this back to the other screen. And I'm going to expand this again. And we are going to do this refresh button for Maven so it can successfully import Karate. Does Intuit. Does Intuit create Intuit is the ones who own QuickBooks and stuff. Did they create Karate? That is interesting. Interesting. All right, so let's get this thing in here. Once it works, it is going to change this from red to whatever color it should be to look like this. And this JUnit version is really looks old. Let me see. While that's happening, let me look up the MVN repository JUnit 5. Let's go with this. So there goes Karate. What in the world is happening with let's see. What is happening with MVN repository? This is for Apple Watch. What's for Apple Watch? Ferris? What you talking about? All right, so that's not working. So okay, cool, whatever. Let me see. So MVN repository is having a Cloudflare problem, so that sucks. So what I'm talking about, when I go over to here real quick, MVN repository is where you get all your Maven, or not all, but majority of your Maven dependencies. But when you click on it, it's taking you to this Cloudflare issue. So they have an error on their site, unfortunately, which really sucks, but whatever. We shall continue. We shall continue. Either way, right? So let's get over to here, and we're going to go to, we have this in here. So if we start looking at in here, source, we have our test folder in here. And I'm just going to get rid of this right here. I'm going to get rid of this one too. And we're going to create one for create a package. We're going to call that dev.techcoachralph.karate. And we're going to go in here. We're going to create a Java class. And we're going to call that, let's see. We're going to call that JSON server. Let's see. Looking at the structure we have. So I'm looking at over here, and we have, so inside of this folder, the test folder, Java folder, we're going to have karate config, logback test XML, some reusable features, some class functions. And then inside of our karate folder, okay, so we'll have, we'll call it karate test. And then we'll have another folder. We'll just call that like post or something like that. Or no, we'll call that, well, it'll be post because we'll call it blog post, just to make it easy to differentiate between post and blog post, like the post method and the blog post. All right, so we have here. Okay, so let's give it a try. So here we're gonna call this a karate tests.java, or just karate test. And we're gonna say add, and then in here we're going to add a package, and that package is going to be called blog posts. And we shall do new file, and we'll call that blog post dot feature, or blog post. That sounds good. Let's call it, oh, it's annoying. All right, let's call it just blog post. All right, there we go. And we'll add that. Let's go ahead and install this Gherkins plugin real quick. That we will get, it'll look like really nice, help with the formatting and stuff like that. Okay, so let's go back to the documentation. And let's look through it. It says, all right, so sample test. So karate supports JUnit 5. All right, only one import. Instead of a class level annotation, you can use a nice, dry, and fluid API to express which tests and tags you want to use. Note that the Java class does not need to be public, and even the test methods do not need to be public. So tests end up being very concise. Okay. Karate will traverse subdirectories and look for feature files. For example, if you have the JUnit class in the com.mycompany package or asterisk, so all feature files in the company.mycompany.foo and com.mycompany.bar will also be able to run. This is one reason why you may prefer a flat directory structure as explained above. Okay. So let's start putting it together, right? Let's start putting it together. Let's see what we can do. Let's go to, I might need that JUnit 5, but we'll find out. So let's get it started. So let's say package. Why is that so big? Package karate, or package, maybe it's dev. Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong file. Please forgive me. So package, all right, dev.techcoachralph.karate, and we're going to say import com.intuit.karate JUnit 5.karate. And we're going to go to here. And we're going to say class karate test. And we're going to say, karate test sample. Follow along with what they have here. Or not test sample. Well, I think that's fine. That's fine. Because I'm just setting up. We can go back and fix this later on. And then up here, I'm going to put, or let's say here, return karate dot run sample. And we'll say relative to get class. All right. And then up here, we're going to have at karate.test. Okay. So we have that set up. And let's see. Let's leave it at that for now. And then because I don't want to write too much code and then we get lost and then we don't know what's happening where. So you know what? I'm going to call this, right? I'm going to call this zero trust coding. All right. Zero trust coding. So I'm going to leave that as, make it simple. And then we're going to go from there. So let's continue looking at the documentation. And let me make this bigger, actually. I didn't know it was that small for you guys. Let's go here. Okay. So I only added this part right here. If we need to, we'll come back and add this part. I don't want to spend too much time on that, on stuff we don't need yet. Note the more builder methods are available from the run.builder such as...
Lunch break.
Okay. All right. It's break time. Let's finish reading this and then we'll get to break, all right? So should be able to right click on a single method using your IDE, which should be sufficient when you are in development mode. But to be able to run JUnit 5 tests from the command line, you need to ensure that the latest version of Maven Surefire plugin is represented in your project. Okay. So, I mean, that doesn't really matter right now. All right. So cool. Let's go all the way down to, so when we come back from break, we're going to go straight into, this is how to run. I want to get to writing the test, right? I want to get to writing the test. So, oh my goodness, so much information. Let's see. Running in parallel. Let's see. I just want to get to where we write the test. So when we come back, we know exactly where we're picking up from. Because all this stuff is useful and stuff like that. But I want to get to writing the test. So here we are. Syntax guide. We'll take a look at the syntax guide when we come back. All right. So let's go to break. And we're at break. So lunch break scare. Sometimes I'm so focused that it does frighten me. But nothing like the time, which Mitch was here for that when, luckily no one else was, but my son got a hold of the garage remote controller, and he started as I'm talking, the garage just starts opening and closing and opening and closing. I'm like, what in the world? I almost lost my mind. And it was a crazy day. It was a crazy day. All right, cool. So let's do this. Let me get to our first chat discussion topic, and then we'll go to the chat. All right. So, and it's going to be a quick one. All right. So let's go and do that. And let's do that. So is that the right one? That's not the right one. Let me see. Let's go with strategy is king, right? I don't know how I got over there, right? Strategy is king. So real quick, we don't want to talk about this, right? So the idea behind strategy is king. I think that when you are strategic in the way that you approach things, whatever you do, it's going to fuel itself. So I've been working in tech for almost the past 20 years, right? And I've been able to every single thing I've learned from it, and the things that I use today, where we're talking about hosting, FTP, DNS name servers, email configurations, I learned those things 20 years ago and I still use them today. And everything else I picked up along the way, I've been using. And now, like, I'm able to use that strategy to create content around it, to be able to coach people. So I'm always strategizing. And what that leads to is more ideas of things that we can do together, more ideas that I can look into. Like I have it on my list to get to that data class, right? To the data engineering, data analytics, data science, data like machine learning type stuff. It's on my list. But the problem is, I was saying earlier, is that I haven't found that exact use case that I need for it to go with that yet, right? But at the same time, when the time cost calculator, right? That idea came from Anton's formula of valuing your time. How do you value your time? Right? So I see that. That's funny, Slimmy. That's funny. But how do you value your time? And then from there, I created a little web calculator application. And then I was like, you know what? I want to learn mobile development. I need to build something. Let's build that. Let's build that out. And then that right there, that content has been giving into itself. And then Terraform, so my content strategy is the things that I need to learn for other stuff. And then we're able to learn it together, able to stream it, able to have fun with it, able to give like some insight and some motivation to the people who are trying to get into this field as well. Because a lot of times they'll tell you, oh, I went and I did this, and then 3 months later, it's all magical. And it's like, it sounds like this. It sounds like this. And I'm here to tell you that it's not easy, but if you're in it for the right reasons, it's going to be worthwhile. And then the things that you learn now, and I was telling somebody this the other day, if you're going into like software engineering, like learning how to code and stuff, it's so much easier to do it if you're building something that you're interested in on the way, right? Like, so when I wanted to learn Flutter, I'm like, well, what type of mobile app that I would want to learn? And then I got that, and then I said, oh, and now we've done so much. Same with Terraform, the app that I'm building for the Tech Barbarians to be able to get some real experience with the process, like the workflow, Agile, Scrum, Node, database type stuff, Docker, AWS, all that type of stuff, right? It just keeps feeding itself. So it's like a continuous cycle. So strategy, I see myself as a strategist. What is it that you want to do, and how can we strategize to get you there? And I won't tell you, oh, it's going to be so easy. It's going to be hard. But as Amstar says, is it worth it if it's not hard? Like, do we just want to always try to take the easy route, or do we want to earn it? We want to earn it. And when you earn it, then you can take that experience and use it anywhere. You're not going to be on LinkedIn like, oh, it's like, I really wish this, I really wish that. And like, wish upon a star or something, like whatever they call that, right? It's like, because I put in the work, now I have a strategy that I can use going forward for if I want to get into creating content, if I want to get into creating apps, if I want to, and then like, you just use everything to your advantage. All right. So that is that's my first chat break, or my first break topic of discussion. Right. So let's get over into the chat. Because you guys have been talking, I want to see what's going on over there. I have to make sure you guys are staying under control. All right. So what is going on? We have, let's see, where did we leave off? We are here. So, your car says your feelings and AI. Oh my goodness. You guys are mean. You guys are mean. Okay. So let's see. Mitch can never convince someone else to be somebody else. And Mitch doesn't like my commercials, but it is what it is. And shout out to the nerds. Hey, you have to make your own path. Like the things that you enjoy, go out and do those, and your crew, your tribe will follow. And if they don't, guess what? I have absolutely no problem being the lone wolf and being the pioneer. And, then they'll see that we are actually the cool kids. We are actually the cool. In elementary, they make fun of you because, like, I remember I'd be in elementary school and we're doing like around the world for math, and I'd just be killing it. I'd be like, Like I'll be like, oh, boom, 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 and like they'll feel some type of way. But I was like, hey, my dad did not make me study this over the summer for me to diminish my how good I am in multiplication and addition and stuff like that. So hey, maybe you should have did it over the summer. So, but now we are the cool kids. We are the cool kids. They want to be friends with us, right? And we were like, yeah, we'll think about it. We'll think about it, right? And Ferris said, good morning. Good morning to you as well, Ferris. And Ferris, you're off tonight, right? Yesterday was your Friday, so you get to hang out. And I'm sure you're tired after that 4-hour stream, and then you went to work. Whew, that's tough. That is tough, right? And he said, Ferris said, enrolled and capture the flag. I wonder if I can stream it. It depends on which one you're enrolled in. It depends on which one you're enrolled in, because if other people are trying to capture that same flag, I don't know. And it asked about if it's for Apple Watch. No, we are working on API testing for using the Karate framework, which is built on top of Java, stuff like that. DK became a tech person. Shout out to we have a bomb happening here. All right, let it happen. Let it happen. My goodness, it's still. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. All right, let's just stop the presses. Stop the presses. All right. Well, you know what? You guys are absolutely awesome.
I appreciate you.
Let me get through these chats so I don't have to go all the way back up, and then we'll celebrate. We'll celebrate, right? So, or I guess what is the overall goal for this? So the goal for this one is to be able to do API automation testing using the Karate framework, right? Good question. Good question. And lunch break scared you? It sure did. And he's back at it again. Or is he an agent for the nurse ops? What are you talking about? What's going on? What is going on? And we got Junior in the building. What's going on, Junior? Happy to have you here. And Slimmy says, 20 years, what are you 20 years what you learned when you were 12. No. Slimmy, I am an old man. I just turned 40 like 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago I turned 40. Yes, I am old. Bruh. Yep. But I'm still fighting every single day. And when I what was it, yesterday, I think I was like, doing jujitsu and fighting for my life. So being, it is what it is. So let's see. All right. And Ferris's imagination. And it says, strategist, be a strategist. Be strategic, be a strategic strategist. All right. And it says E-Beggin and Speedy Patel. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. You guys are too much. You guys are too much. Wow. So, all right, everyone, clap it up for your car. He's just, every single stream, he's just blessing you guys and blessing me, like giving all these memberships out. You guys, if you got a membership from your car, make sure you thank them. Make sure you say, your car, thank you for that membership. I appreciate. All right, let your car know that you appreciate him, right? Because he is always blessing people with these memberships, right? So it says, it's like we ain't thinking about it. We just can't be friends. And Ferris says, is being a lone wolf a positive or negative in the workplace? So you got to know how to balance it, right? Because for me, being that lone wolf, I am able to work alone, but I'm also able to work in the group. So, but it's not like if I'm not in a group, I'm gonna be like pouty about it and sad, like, oh, why won't they accept me and stuff like that. I'll tell you this. There has like long time ago, like when I way long ago, I would be able to get off of work and I would be able to go to go home and spend the whole weekend working on projects and stuff like that without having like without having to talk to almost anybody. I mean, I had like people that I was working with, like friends and stuff like that, but I didn't have to like be around people all the time. But then when I need to be around people, I'm able to do that and able to be personable and hang out and stuff like that. But it's not like, oh, you know, if someone doesn't want to be my friend, like, all right. Oh my God, I should have said this. But it's not like that I'm going to be begging people to have a phone call with me and talk to me and then like sending them threatening emails and say like, hey, why won't you just be my friend? Why won't you just take my call? And then they have to call and justify why they're doing what they're doing. And this is a big mess, right? I am perfectly fine to be able to work alone. But then when I need to come in and work as a group, come together, like I've done tons of projects with people, whatever. It's like, it doesn't matter. Like for me, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to be sad whether I'm in a group or not in a group. Like, so that's what, for me, that's what the lone wolf is. I get like, because when I need to get something done and there's no one else to do it with, it's going to get done regardless. I'm going to get it done. But if there's a team that wants to come together and like, okay, you take this and everyone is actually doing their part, then I have no problem with that too. But when people don't do their part, I'm going to get it done regardless, right? So that's what I'm referring to. That is my idea of the lone wolf, all right? And let's see what else we got. And your car dropping the gift nukes. He sure does. He like, you'll be talking to him, boom, it just dropped. And then he just dropped another one. So if you were part of the second group who got the gifts by your car, go ahead and thank them as well. My goodness. So much. And he says, bruh, you are the ageist one. Thought I was like 10 years older than you. Nah, man, I just work, just work. All right. And see, what did I get myself into? All right. So he says, damn, you don't look 40. Maybe because you got hair. I have hair. You see? I have hair. You guys are too much. My goodness. All right. Your car going up on a Thursday. All right. And McCall said, who's 40? Rob. Nah, I thought I was the only old timer. You got me beat? Oh, I didn't think so. Wow. You see? We work. All right. We work. And it says, Mitch says, dang, too many 1900s in here. Hey, you know how we do, Mitch. You know how we do. All right. And Mitch says, Ralph was crying when I said I was thinking about leaving. Don't let him fool you. Oh my God, Mitch, stop threatening me, Mitch. Stop. Like you can't do this because if Mitch, I'm gonna have to play this soundbite, right?
I'm in a bind, Nate.
And I don't want to have to play that because you can't leave. And remember, where can you go? You're under a non-compete, right? So VP non-compete, right? And it says, yeah, I'm the same way. Lone wolf, then people got offended because I don't want to hang out after work. I never was one to hang out after work. So it says, if I like you, I'm extrovert. If I don't, I'm introvert. That's a good point. But for me, like being a big crowd, I can handle being in a big crowd. But then after I get back to my environment, I crash. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so exhausted because for me, it's a lot of energy. Right? You and me both. 88 baby. All right, cool. So we're good. We are caught up on the chat. We're going to get another 20-minute segment in the building. All right. So let's go to clear that. And let's go to what screen you want to go to? We want to go to this screen. And we're going to go to another 20 minutes.
Let's go!
They are young, huh, Mako? They are young. All right. So we are looking at this. This is annoying because it's like, all right. So if anyone saw the video from yesterday about the BDD, this should look familiar. Feature, brief description of what is being tested. Background. This is an optional section. Steps here are executed before each scenario. Scenario, brief description of this scenario, and then so we have multiple scenarios, right? So, given when then, this is Gherkin's language. The business of web services testing requires access to low-level aspects of HTTP headers, all that stuff. I'm not going to read it word for word. Let's see. let's see here. Cucumber karate. All right, we don't need that. I'm just trying to get to like where we actually started the implementation. Let's see. All right, let's go to. Let me see if there's something I can just get straight to it. Let's see. All right. So what's in this config.js file? I don't think I need to use that yet. Let's go into the examples folder. Examples test, pretty much what we have here. And let's go into this file, users runner, karate test, users feature. Let me see what this is actually. Examples test. Okay. And then in this one, users runner. So this, all right. So that means that, see, and that's right. The documentation is confusing sometimes. So this right here should be. So let's create another one then. Let's go in here and we're going to say Java class. We're going to call that blog post runner. And we're going to say import oops, spelled import wrong. Import com.intuit dot karate dot junit5 dot karate. Close that out. And then, by the way, Slimmy, let me know in the chat. Yesterday you said that you were in class. What class are you taking? I'm just curious. What class are you taking? I am very interested in knowing. All right, so we have that, and then we have karate dot test, and then we have karate, and then it's gonna call blog posts, and return karate dot run, and then we'll say blog posts. I guess I don't know. And then relative to get class. All right. And we got that covered. All right, cool. So I'm not really sure what this karate test is. Let me see. Let me see what they have in that one. That's for testing in parallel. I don't think I need this one for now, at least. Get rid of that. I'll recreate it later if I need it. All right, so we have that. And now we are going to go into our blog post feature. And I'm going to open one of theirs, see how they have it. So let's say feature. We're going to say, what is this feature? Execute test for the blog posts. And then we're going to say, they have a background. And in their background, they have this thing for URL. And it says, so we need our localhost 3000 and posts. All right. That's our URL that we're going to be using. And now we need our scenario, which the scenario is going to be describing. And I write stuff that looks like this just about every single day at work. Because we use they call it behave in Python, which we'll get to we'll get to it when we start doing our live streams about BDD. But I'm very familiar with this Gherkin's language. So it says scenario. We're gonna say the first scenario is we are going to add a new entry to the blog post. Right, that's our scenario, and we're gonna say given, or I guess we can say the URL is this. No, I don't think so. Whatever, leave it at that. Given, and then we're gonna say path is posts. And we're gonna say, let me see one for post here. Given. Okay, so we need to do two things. So to add a new one, we're gonna say here, we're gonna say define the blog post equals, and we're gonna open up our. This is annoying. So I'll say this: it's annoying doing this here. Maybe because I need the plugin for. Maybe I need the plugin for karate because it's annoying because I have to like manually do all this stuff, and I hate manually doing stuff. It's not my favorite pastime. So I'm gonna go and let's go and do this right. I'm gonna go and we're gonna go here real quick. And we're gonna look for that IntelliJ plugin because I'm not gonna be typing all this stuff one by one by one by one. That is not what I do. Right? That is not what I do. So we're gonna get this right here. And if we go back over here, we're gonna say okay. And now let me see if I do here. We say equal. Oops. We go like that. See, now we're talking, right? Now we have assistance. We have assistance. So now we have this open and we hear, oh, come on. What are you doing to me? Let's say we have this equal here. That's just retarded. Oops, can't say that. But that's just not convenient. All right, so let's go here and we're gonna say, let's say, what is our entry? Let me see. Let me go and check let's open up, I don't know. Let's open up Talend, actually. We shall use Talend. All right, so if we are here, Talend, let's do a get so I can see the format. And all right, we're gonna do title and author. Yeah, we'll do that. All right. So let's go with or this is it's annoying me. Let me see. Okay, I see the problem. I see the problem. My bad. All right. So I did not read. I read too fast. All right. So we're gonna go with move that over here. And now our definition is gonna go in here. So we're gonna say title. Title is, let's say, let's see. Let's go with why Mitch can't leave. And we go here and we say author. We're going to say Tech Coach Ralph. And we're going to say, author, and we're going to say post because he's under a non-compete clause as VP of Data Analytics. All right, so we need a comma here. Make our dictionary close. All right, cool. Now, given the path is post, and so let's look at our example real quick. Where's our post over here? All right, so here, give the URL, and the request is user. So here's going to be, our request is going to be the blog post, and when the method is post, then status should be 201, and define the ID. All right, cool. I think we got it. I think we've got it. So let's do it like this. Let's go to and the and request blog post. Then status is 201. Right? Let's leave it as that. Let's leave it at that. And I want to do a asterisk print, and we'll say the response is let's try that. Let's try that. Let's try it with that, right? Let's see what happens. Fingers crossed. Hopefully we are in a good spot here. So let's run it. Let's run it. Oh my God. All right. So let's see. Java error, release version 5 not supported. API testing livestream SDK 20 not support version 1.5. What? Download the project SDK and settings to 1.5 compatible. What are you talking about? Upgrade. All right, we'll do that one. Upgrade to version 20. Let's do that. And let's try to run it again. This one. Running test requires a plus subscription. What are you talking about? Give me a break. Let's see here. Running test requires a plus subscription. Let me see. Let me see. So if we're to, that's weird. So what in the world are they talking about here? Running test required. So how do you, let me see what's going on here. Let me get the error one more time. Please sign in / subscribe. Let me see what's going on. Let's go over to here. See what they're talking about. So, license validation. Oh, I see. So they're trying to take me from my paper. All right. So I am not going to get a subscription to this. Let me see. Let me see. Pricing. Open source, $100 a year. Give me a break. Open source API testing. So in order to use IntelliJ or VS Code, so you know what we're gonna do, right? So we're gonna do this. I'm gonna go back over here. I'm just gonna uninstall your stupid little plugin. And this is why I don't get crazy about these tools because, for example, AI this, AI that, AI this, AI that, and then AI does everything for you, and they make you pay a bunch of money. Like, if you have you guys ever seen like those faceless YouTube channels, like how they, oh, you can make $1 million doing faceless YouTube, you can make $1 million doing faceless YouTube, and they tell you, oh, you got to get this software and that software, and use our link in the description in order to get the software, and then all of a sudden you're paying like $100 a month, and you're not making any money because no one's watching your faceless YouTube channel. So that's how they get you. Because they're probably buying all the subscribers and views anyways to make it seem like it's all that in a bag of chips. All right. So let me see. What am I uninstalling? But I'm not paying for karate. Let's go ahead and get rid of that one right there. And okay. Now the plugin is gone. So what was asking for money was to use the karate plugin in IntelliJ. They or in VS Code, they wanted you to have a plus subscription to karate, where I don't know if people are using karate like that. And you can still run it without actually using their plugin. So I don't know what they're talking about. They got me messed up. All right. So where we go to settings again and go back to plugins. Did I disable the other plugin, by the way? Let me see. Oops. Plugins. Did I disable? No, it's not Gherkins enabled. Why would plugin supporting feature found? Let me see. They must be talking about. Let me see. Gherkins. Add support for Gherkins, which can be used in Cucumber. Whatever. Anyways, let's see now. How can we run this? See, and that's the thing. Like with Behave, they don't. I don't know about Behave, but whatever. Let's go ahead. Let me see. What if I do enable plugin? What is it going to give me if I do that? Karate. Nope, not doing that. So I'm going to have to run it via. Okay, I got you. So we're going to have to run it via the runner. All right, cool. So we are going to. So that file that we deleted, we need it in a different way. So we're going to call that. Let me go over to here. And we're going to call this live stream tests or test. And where did I get it from? Like, oh, you can use our plugin. We can use our plugin, and they're like, oh, but to use our plugin, you got to pay $100 a year. I'm like, I'm only going to be using this for one day, buddy. One day, because I am not going to be using karate. Anyways, let's go to where they set that up. I am back looking at this. We are looking at here. So that was the sample test. Let me see. Okay, I think I got it. So let's go over back to here. I think I can just run this right here. If I run this, the blog post runner one, let's see what it gets.
Lunch break.
Right after this runs, then we'll go to break. And it said Java runtime not found dev Techo draft karate blog post feature. Let's go like this and like that and like this, Anna. And we'll run that again. But we're making progress. We're getting closer. So let's see if this is going to work. And not found dev. Draft karate blog post. dot feature. Why is that not found? Dev, go draft, karate, blog post, relative to. Oh, okay. I know why. I know why. Let me see. Relative to. Let me see that structure one more time. We have the cats runner in here. Java. Feels like it should be found. Let me see. Karate test. Hmm. Let's do. Hmm. All right, we'll troubleshoot that when we come back. Right, we might have to do a second stream on this next week to finish this off because we have to figure out the setup first. Like I said, I haven't used this one in ages, so we'll figure it out. Right, so let's get to break really quick, and let's see here what was my second topic for today. Right, so what I was going to talk about in our second break was AI. Let's talk about AI for a second. And Mitch says he hates AI, so I guess he won't have much to contribute to that. But I want to know, how do you use AI? So I'll start with myself, right? I use AI in all the stuff that I use AI in all the stuff that I would not like I would want to do, but I wouldn't want to pay somebody else to do it. But it's like if I don't do it, then I might just go slower or stuff like that. But for example, I use AI for the stuff that people aren't really going to be looking at for the most part. So, for example, the my descriptions for my videos, right? I will generate some description with AI, and then I will make some edits to it. Usually, it's pretty spot on. I say, okay, I need a description for this, and it creates me a description, and then I will say I need tags for this video, and then I will also use AI to like help me generate some talking points, like some slides for not it doesn't create the slides, but I have to put the slides together. But it'll also like say, okay, this is the things you want to touch on, and then I'll go in and add my own spin to it. I also started to use AI to help with the like image generation for thumbnails and stuff like that. So, for instance, before I even get to that one, I also use AI to follow me around from like when I'm doing my meetings, so that it can take notes and it can keep me like because I hate taking notes in meetings. I'd rather focus on the person. So it'll follow me around and it'll take notes on my Google Meet calls or on my what's the other Zoom calls, and then it'll send me a summary, and then I'll review that, and then okay, that's what we talked about, and then before we have our next meeting, I can look that up as well. And say, oh, okay, that's what we talked about. That's what we have to do for this meeting, stuff like that. What other ways do I use AI? So when before Don got super busy, we were using AI to be able to rewrite resumes based on job descriptions, as well as write cover letters based on job descriptions based off your resume as well. We've used AI for a bunch of different things, but my latest use of AI was for generating some thumbnails, which you've probably see like when you see the upcoming videos, including this video. This was used with AI, but I just switched over to Midjourney. I'm not sure if anybody's used Midjourney before, but let me find that image so I can show you the image that it generated for yours truly. So let's see. And for instance, I feel for graphic designers, AI destroyed them. And that's the thing. Like, I wasn't really gonna like. I would create like my crappy thumbnails on my own, And but I'm like, I'm not gonna get someone to create a thumbnail for every single video, especially with the amount of videos that I put out, right? So let me show you real quick the AI generated photos that I got for some upcoming thumbnails. So we'll start off with, let me see if I can move these over. So let's go ahead and look at that, right? So real quick. So this one right here, it was for, I think for Sunday stream. I searched for using Midjourney, which is interesting how it runs everything through Discord. But I was like, I need I need somebody writing code in a war zone. And this was one of the options that it gave me. I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. So I have that for Sunday's thumbnail. And then for tomorrow about like gamifying the coding, it came up with this, which this looks really cool. I wish my workspace looked like this, right? So more and more use for AI. But when it comes to like things that I need to actually figure out and implement, like I'm not the type to search AI for, hey, how do I write this code? Because I feel like if I rely on AI for that, then I'm gonna miss out on how to actually do it for myself. So I like to do the research. I like to do the Stack Overflow, all that type of stuff. So curious to know, how are you guys using AI? So let me jump into the chat really, really quick. Let me get back to full screen. And let's see, what does the chat have to say? Get this off the screen. All right, let's go back up a little bit. Slimmy said CDLs, Slimmy says CDLs, my IT bootcamp doesn't start until July. I can't really wait that long without income for it to start. Gotcha. Mitch said, Slimmy, that's all summer. And let's see, Slimmy says it's 6 months. And yeah, that is totally awesome. What boot camp are you taking, Slimmy? If you're still here, what boot camp are you taking? I'm interested to know. It's kind of unstructured at times. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm curious. What boot camp are you planning to take for IT? I was just saying because summer, who cares? It will pay off. And I need the knowledge. And Mitch says most people need to be studying in summer and won't be. That is a fact, though. That is a fact. And then we're gonna have to tell them, Mitch. We're gonna have to tell them,
Congratulations, you played yourself.
right? And let's see. Did I miss something that your car said? I think I did. Or maybe he was saying that I need a path. Cool. So open source is not as open. Tell me, right? Your car, right? They tell you open source, and then it's like, oh, but however, to use this, you need to pay us $100 a year. I'm like, come on. Really? Is that what we're doing here? Is that what we're doing here? You know what? No, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen because I will figure it out. I will figure it out on my own. All right. And the Wellbeing Journey says, what are they asking for money? They're asking for money to be able to use their plugin that integrates with VS Code and with IntelliJ. But for me, I'm like, this is why it's important to learn how to do these things, because it's I think it's gonna be excessive to pay for it. And guess what? Like, I wouldn't even use Karate if that's the case. I would just rather go use a different tool, because I'm not gonna pay for Karate to do all that. And then like you probably need a license for everybody who's using it, especially if you're using it as a company. It's totally not worth it. I don't see it worth it. And your car says, call me now for a free reading. I probably mixed up the accents, but I apologize. And it says, people pretty much want to take out the hard work in exchange for paying hundreds of dollars per month, but still have to script, edit, and fix AI voices for tones. Yep. And let's see. There it says, or the Wealth Building Journey says, there it is. Pay for subs. Faces channels simply aren't that popular. Nope, they sure aren't. And All right, I'm just gonna ignore this one. You see, you tried to get me, Walt, but you tried to get me. I'm just gonna skip right on over that one. And it says, always build, in my opinion, might be harder short term, but longer potential for now until AI can really just do it all in one package. Yep. And it's like you can ask certain questions, but it's just like some people they'll use the whole AI stuff to do all of their coding, and then they know absolutely nothing. I feel like graphic designers AI destroyed them. It did a big number on them. I'll tell you that. But there's still some stuff, And it says it's local. It's local. Folks from Cleveland put it together. That's pretty cool. That is pretty cool. They're showing us cybersecurity and coding. Nice. You know what? We need to have a conversation, Slimmy, because I think that is pretty awesome. And you are connected with an amazing group of people who, a lot of us who are in tech, that we can give you some insight. And I think you said it starts in the summer. So let us get you right. We're gonna get you right, Slimmy. We're gonna put you on something that is where you can, like, for very low cost, you can start learning this stuff. So like when you actually get to the boot camp, it's gonna be a lot easier for you to understand and digest. So I'm gonna reach out to you probably like this weekend sometime, so that we can give you some insight on that type of stuff, all right? And let's see what else we got. Local boot camps is really cool. Yeah, the ones that they do online, I don't know those, because at least the local ones are plugged in. They should be plugged into like the area and stuff like that. So really cool. But we're gonna touch base on that. Right? So let's get to our very last 20-minute segment of the day, and then we will come back for one more quick talk and chat, read down, and then we're gonna be out for the night. But one more time, I really, really appreciate all of you guys for hanging out with me tonight. As you see me fumble and bumble through this API testing with karate, like I said, not one of my favorites. I know, but we're gonna figure it out, and because it might not be my favorite, but you might like it, and if you like it, then I love it. All right, so I am here to help. I am here to expose everyone to all the different technologies so that you can level up. All right. So that being said, and that reminds me, like, Ferris, you're going live tomorrow. Drop your link in the chat, Ferris, because he's going to continue working on his Kubernetes implementation on AWS with Python and stuff like that. It's fun to watch Ferris struggle through it. I have to be honest, right? I have to be honest. It is fun to watch him struggle through it, but I know it is going to pay off in a major, major way at the end of it all, right? So shout out to Ferris and his dedication to putting in the work, all right? So let's get to it. Let's put our last 20-minute segment on the clock.
It's time to do.
It is annoying, because I was Googling, like, why is this thing not working? Why is this pod not starting? But you're going to get it. You're going to get it. Like, no matter how long it takes, don't give up on it. Get it to work and then celebrate that victory, all right? You have to celebrate the victory. If you quit, there is no victory to celebrate. So get it to work, and even if it takes you longer than tomorrow, get it to work, all right? So let's continue. So it is saying that this path is not found, although I see it right here. Let me see. Karate. Do I have a blog post dot feature? All right, so let's do some karate blog post. All right, let's figure this out, because that's the last step that we need. And after that, we can write one more test or whatever. But we just need to get this part to work. You tried to word up your car. Like, I tried to get into Kubernetes a while ago, and my computer wasn't powerful enough. So I said, I'll table that. I'll revisit that. But yeah, it's like for Ferris's first project, I have to say that is a maybe he didn't know what he was getting himself into, but that is a huge project to undertake. Like Python when never coding in Python, Kubernetes, AWS when never using AWS. That when he's struggling with the keys, I'm like, wow, that I salute Ferris for that, because That is a huge undertaking that he took on. So that's awesome. I'd love to see it. All right, that's why is this thing not working? Blog post. Let me see. I see the thing here. Oh, you tried to warn me about this path. Oh, sorry. I take it back first. I take it back. You tried to warn me about this. Which path? Oh, this path. Let's see. I apologize first. I apologize. Your car was scolding me, not you. Anyways, all right. Let's see. Let me see. Class path karate. Their documentation sucks. Let's see. So let's go into. Let me look at over here. Let me see how they did it here. So let's look at this. It says results runner dot path class path. Oh, users runner. So run users relative to. So I need. Let's talk about the feature file. They're in the same folder. Huh. Karate.run users. Talking about this users, I suppose. Relative to get class. Let's see here. Let me see. Let's look at a different example. See how they do it. Let's just go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. Here. Tests. And we go to test local runner. I see. Let's see. Try this one. Is that the one I was just in? Let me see. Okay, they make it way more complicated than it has to be. We just needed to get to work once. And then once we get that to work, then we are good to go. Let's go with, let me see. They're making this way more complicated than it has to be. Let me see what's in here. Nothing in here of use. Let's see. We have this example test. We have this users. It should just be karate.run paths users relative to. Isn't that what I have? Examples. What if we rename this to. All right, let's do this, right? Let's say we copy. I'm going to copy the error and I'm going to Google it. Unable to run karate test, feature file not found. And so I'm getting a no feature found scenario. Not exactly the error. Examples. Let me see. So initially I wrote my own feature, but after repeated failures, I tried copying the entire into the demo karate project, generated archetype. Let's see. The solution is to inform Maven to point to the test Java instead of defaulting to test resources. Ah, could that be it? And then karate run class path to feature directory or files will work. Maybe that's what your car meant. I could only figure this out once I used absolute path to debug the issue. Well, let's can try that. All right, let's try that. I guess maybe that's what your car meant by the path. Let's go back over here. Let's go to. How do we put this in here? We are going to. Let me see if I can find a class path example. Okay, gotcha. I think I understand what your car meant. Class path, and then we're gonna say it's gonna go to. How far away do we start from? Let me see. Let's try it like this. Start off backwards. So blog post dot feature, and then we want to go to. Let's start off with dev / tech coach Ralph / karate / blog post. Let's try with that. Let's see what happens with that one. And not found, same thing, but what if we go one more level up? Let's just go all the way up. Let's go all the way up. Here. Still not found. Jeez. All right. Let's see what else we got. That should be found. Oh, wait a second. I have to. Oops, my bad. My bad. I have to get this relative thing out of here, I think. Let's get that out. Let's see if that works. Not found SRC. Let's say we go back now to here. So now let's try this. Java find class path. How to get the class path of a running Java program. I don't know. It's kind of weird. Relative to. Let's see. Karate. Path to feature will work. So let's go ahead and let's check out that POM file again. And if we go to build, and we copy test resources in the build. Do we have a build in here? We do not. All right, so we're going to take this and we're going to put I think you need the J unit tester. Okay, let's try to get that. The problem with the JUnit tester was that the MVN repository was down, but let's see if it's back up. Let's see if it's back up. And it's back up. All right, cool. So let me grab that. And if we go here, let's paste that JUnit here. And we go here. And so let's do two things. Let's try to run it with this new JUnit tester thing, or with the version 5 of JUnit. Well, this is different, which is good. But at the end of the day, we get all the way down here and it says assertion failed, get status. Okay, so we are making progress. Shout out to your car. You know what? Shout out to your car. I had totally forgot about the JUnit thing because it wasn't working at the time. But let's go back and edit this. Let's go to then the status. Let's see. Not invoke get status because this response is no. What is our path for? What is our path? It's post. So let's go to locals 3000. And we have our blog post, and the request is blog post. Status should be 201, I suppose. Let's see. So, and in here we had this class path. Now, why is the cannot invoke response.get status because this response is no. Did I miss something in what I was writing? Let me see. Post request when method post. Oh, okay. Yeah, that you're on point. You're on point. That it should be when method post. And then yeah, for the get it'll be 200, but for the post, I'm guessing for the post it's going to be 201. It might be 200 for the post as well, but that should be able to get that one to work. I just forgot to put the method post on that one. I just don't like why it's so much. So it passed. Yeah, that's what it was. So shout out to your car. Solved our problems, but this is so wordy. Like I don't like. Oh, I don't like that. Too much. Too much. I might have to find a way to clean up the. Oh my god, this is so hard to look at. Let's go to this. That's not what I wanted. Let's go with. Let's copy this URL. Where is it saved? It's saved in Target Karate Reports. Target Karate Reports. But I would expect a nice looking output in the run console. And it's karate summary. Open in browser. Let's go with Chrome. Of course, you want to use the browser that's not on the screen that I'm using. All right, let's put that over here. And let's take a look at the report. All right, so there goes the report. Execute test for a blog post, 1 pass, 1 scenario, and we did. All right, so let's do this real quick. Let's do this. We have 2 minutes. Let's add a second test real quick. Let's go over to. Let's do a quick one real quick. Let's do like Akara was saying. Let's do a get method. Right. Let's go to another scenario. And we're going to say get all the posts in the blog. And we're going to say given path posts and request, or there's no request. When get, then status 200. And we can do print response, or we can do print response, I guess. But response is, and that should give us a list of everything in the, in the post, right? So let's run it again. I just don't like how wordy it is. I like when I run it in here, like I get a very clean layout. All right, so why did the second one fail? No step definition method match for. Oh my God. All right. I'm used to defining my own steps instead of using the predefined steps that karate gives you, but it's all good. All right, so I'm still failing. Let's see, what else did it fail? So it failed on so much stuff to parse through. There's probably some way to reduce the amount of stuff that it's showing, but it said yes, failed. Response, found response, but karate response. How did I do it for this one? Oh, comma. All right. Syntax is key.
Lunch break.
So, all right, let's run this last one. Look at the results. It should pass. Look at the results, and then we will wrap it up for tonight. Cool. Pass. Let's go ahead and go over to this screen. Refresh. And we have a second one, right? So background. I'm not the most fond of this, but we have this. And we have our list of wow, this is very stalkerish, Mitch. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times why you can't leave. Yeah, talking about yeah. Anyways, that's it. So I think next week we will do a little bit more with karate. Now that your car has saved us, right? We will do a little bit more, do some more methods, and then do the HTTP bin, just to get a little bit more familiar with it. And we didn't have the wealth building journey, right? How do you build wealth? You don't have to pay for unnecessary licenses, right? So shout out to that. That is one way of building wealth, amongst many other ways. But that's it. Let's get to our full screen now. And let's just do this really, really quick. This very last topic that I had in mind for today. Maybe I'll start reducing them to 2 going forward. But let's go with this one. Work, everything else will come. What do I mean by that? What do I mean by work and everything else will come? So for me, at least, I just like to work on stuff, figure things out, and then I let the chips fall where they may, right? So, what exactly does that mean? Here's an example. So, everything that I do on this channel came from some type of small idea of maybe this could be useful. So it could be like with Terraform at work. I would always hear like they're always talking about Terraform and stuff like that. And I'm like, I want to do some stuff with Terraform. There's some stuff for automation and QA that I could do for Terraform, because when I had used the AWS Elastic Container Registry to host our Docker image, one of the engineers like, oh yeah, we should do this in Terraform though. And I was like, I never really heard of Terraform. How do I use Terraform? So I went on a trek and I went on a mission to figure out Terraform. And we've been like, so the Terraform content has just been generating itself, right? So working with the Tech Barbarians, building the quotes app for that. And I'm like, oh, well, I need something to get me interested in Terraform. So let me write the code for our infrastructure in Terraform. So while I'm building doing the development of the app on Sundays, I'm setting up our infrastructure, and that led to EC2 instances. That led to Elastic Beanstalk. That led to what we've just been working on with the Elastic Container Service and the Elastic Container Registry, and to setting up Mongo, which we are on the brink now of migrating my ghetto implementation of where the quotes are being fed from into a real implementation using Mongo, where we are having different methods to implement and stuff like that. So that concept just creates itself. And then so ideas build upon each other. So same thing with Flutter. I'm like, oh, well, this app would be cool. And I have a bunch of apps that I'm thinking about, but I'm like, oh, this app would be cool. And then building out that whole app on the streams and stuff like that, learning how so many different issues that we've had with Flutter, trying to figure that out. And then we're like, well, why don't we just add a mobile app to it, right? Why don't we just add a mobile app? So there we go. And then lastly, the last part about it, I was talking to Mitch yesterday on Ferris's stream. I said, you know what? I looked up APIs for the Numbers app. And because it's really clunky, like when we're trying to read through this, like they have all these numbers and stuff like that. Imagine if we could like just pull in these numbers via API, and then we can, once we get a good understanding of it, we can just look at art, like where we pull in the data from, and then we can interpret it that way instead of like trying to read through all these websites and stuff like that. I'm like, that can even end up being like our own app where you have like, all right, these are the numbers that we need to review. This is the details behind it. These are the links to it if you want to read more. But that just built itself. You know what I mean? So that's like ideas build upon themselves, right? And one of the things that I'm trying to figure out is, all right, how can I get this data course to be able to get into it, because I don't have that thing that's driving the data yet. So I don't know, but just doing stuff leads to other stuff. So there's no need, I think Amsar was saying this earlier, but like there's no need to be stagnant. There's so many things to learn. And that's why I always enjoy Ferris's stream, because he'll go, just trying to learn stuff. And then he's like, oh, maybe I can do this in Terraform. Maybe I can go here. Maybe I can go there. So my idea is, just keep building. Just keep building. As Mitch just eloquently said the other day, just keep swimming. All right. So that is my thought of like work, and everything else will come. Just work. And you're going to get so many different ideas on how to do some amazing, amazing stuff. Right. So that is my thought. Let me know what your thoughts about it as well. But let's get to the chat, and then I'm going to get you guys out of here for tonight. So let's see what we got going on. So you guys said, I tried to warn you about this path. Yes, you did. And I think you need JUnit tester. Yes, that is exactly what we needed. Thank you so much, Dakar, for the assist. And yes, we needed that method. And we got the bombs going out, fireworks. There you go. I'm celebrating the small win. That is my victory song. And it says, good stuff, your car. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Your car hit us with the Kobe Bryant emojis. And he says, you know what? I need my 30 milli. Yes, you do. And that's still not enough for your car. That is still not enough for your car. And it says, this is very interesting. I am so happy that you found it interesting. There's so many ways. And the reason I had all these live streams, because I think the first one we did was with Python, with the request library. Then we did with Java and Rest Assured. Then we did with JavaScript and the super tests and stuff like that with Node. And then we went back to a little bit of somewhat of Java, but with Karate. And there's so many different ways to do it. And so I'm just like, let's get familiar with some different ways. You can see, like, maybe you're into Java, maybe you're into Python, maybe you're into JavaScript and Node. So this just exposing us to the different ideas, the different possibilities out there, right? So so I am very, very happy that you found it interesting. I really appreciate that. And Farrah said, Karate framework for API testing. I guess you can illustrate the project. Is it like Postman or that Mocha? So what I did was, let me see. I can show you real quick, right? So all I did was, I got this GitHub repo like 4 or 5 weeks ago when we were talking about API testing. So we needed something to serve as our API, and I installed it. I can drop this in the chat, but I installed it on. I cloned the repo and I started it on the. I started it locally, so now I'm able to use that as an API, and I just been automating this API or testing this API through different frameworks and different languages over the past few weeks. So and I even I was able to you can query it through Postman as well. It's just like a regular API. You can use Postman, you can use Insomnia, you can use the Talon Chrome plugin, you can use JavaScript, Java, Python, whatever your heart so desires to do it. Right? So that is the context behind that. And let's see what else we got. Where are we with that? And so your car says they don't want to give me or AD our 30 million. And that's a shame. That is a shame. They need to do better. They need to do better. And let's see. It says wealth building equals certain asset purchases. That is true. That is true. And not wasting it on useless plugins. All right. Well, that is it tonight, friends and family, the bag chasers, the tech barbarians, the tech mercenaries, and, at the end of the day, and my nerds. Love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I really, really appreciate it. But on the way out, you know how it goes. I have a question for you guys. I have a question for you. And the question is,
Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here?
I am very, very entertained, but I'm also excited because we got so much work done. Your car saved us again, helping us figure out how to get this thing to work. So much fun. Really appreciate it. Slimmy, I'm going to reach out to you in the next couple of days because I want to learn more, and we're gonna help each other out, right? So with that being said, the last thing, you guys know what it is. Yesterday's price is not today's price. Today's price is certainly not tomorrow's price, because
one more thing. Price of the brick going up.
The price of the brick is going up, right? And on that note, this is Tech Coach Ralph, and we are out.
You might think that getting into the IT field is impossible without a computer science degree, but Tech Coach Ralph is here to prove you wrong. Get ready for some jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into this lucrative industry. Listen up, tech enthusiasts. Are you ready to break through into the IT field, but feel like you need a computer science degree to make it happen? Think again. Tech Coach Ralph has some exclusive, mind-blowing secrets to share with you. Get ready to be blown away by his jaw-dropping revelations on how to break into the tech industry without a computer science degree. So get your notepad ready, because Tech Coach Ralph is going to change your life forever. Buckle up, because you're about to embark on a journey to success in the IT field.
Spartans! What is your profession?